Man, we were wrong.
We were wrong about a card.
We do the Mythic spoiler every time a new set comes out, kind of review all the Mythics in it. And we were wrong about Hydroid Krasis.
Yeah, we said it was only good in limited, and apparently it's making a splash.
Let's talk about Hydroid Krasis and how it's affecting the standard landscape right now.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. If you would, real quick, consider liking, subscribing. It's free and it really helps us out.
Just
helps
go
us
click
get this
buttons.
video out
go
there.
click some buttons.
Yeah, let's talk about Hydroid Krasis.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Hydroid Krasis today. So on our Mythic review, we said this card is a limited bomb. It's not going to see anything after that.
Yeah, last week we were really low on this card. We were very high on it in limited, and I still hold that in limited it's an absolute house. But I have also been taught now that in standard it's an absolute house.
Yeah, so this is a card that it gets better as the game goes longer. But
so let's go over here. Last weekend was the SCG Open Indianapolis.
Yes.
And we also had the MTGO Standard MCQ Finals.
Yep.
Now, if you'll notice, on the MTGO Standard Finals, we had Sultai Aggro at number 1, and it's running 4 copies of this Mythic that has X in it. And if you look at the Sultai Open, the SCG Open Indianapolis Sultai Aggro number 1 deck there, this one is running 3 copies of Hydroid Krasis. I mean, it's this card, and it's also in another deck in this list and another deck in this list. I mean, the card itself is ridiculous.
You know, I will say this about it. On eBay, I recently sold 4 foil Find Finality, and thanks, Hydroid Krasis. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with it.
Rock and roll. Look at this. When this card came out, okay, we're looking at, my mouse isn't working here, but the card was at $2 when it first came out.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, man.
Right, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now we're looking at 25 and 30 or 38 in paper. I mean, look at the listings on eBay. 4 of selling for $124, 4 of selling for $113. That's actually not that bad of a price. Might wanna pick those up if you think you can flip them quickly. Now, what did we miss about this card?
All right, so the big thing that we missed is
when you cast this spell.
So when you cast it, you're gaining half X life and drawing half X cards rounded down.
Yes.
Even if the spell gets countered.
Now, when we were talking about this, I thought that 6 mana would be the best value that you could cast this for. And I was only partially right with that. It is the first best value that you can cast this for. If you can pump a ton of mana into this spell, you're going to be on the cast, gaining life and drawing cards.
Yeah, it's definitely notable, and oh man, it's honestly, it's crazy when you look back at it and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a flying trampler. I think trample adds a lot to it too.
Yeah, it's got good evasion.
Yeah.
It has a good, mechanic. There's a lot of, counter synergy that's going on as well. And
in a control shell with, the lizard wizard that can counter stuff as it comes into play, and other cards that are like that. A 4/4, 5/5, 6/6 flying trampler can close it out for you.
Yeah, the card has good synergy. It gets better as the match goes on.
Right.
And one of the best and most important things in Magic is velocity and being able to keep your hand full.
Yep.
So this card does that. I still think it's amazing in limited. It's pretty crazy the splash that it's making in standard right now.
Yeah.
But
and that brings us to our third point.
Yeah, our third point. Let's go ahead and pull up this guy here.
Yeah.
The card right now on Card Kingdom is $40.
Yep.
Now let's go to the lowest that we can get it for on eBay. This is the lowest price.
Yeah. Okay. So right now we are searched for Hydroid Krasis.
Buy it now.
Buy it now. Price plus shipping lowest first.
Right. Which is this is
$32.50.
Yeah.
$33.
Now normally between Card Kingdom and
$30,
eBay you're going to get a big disparity in price.
Right.
But this is showing us that right now, I think this card is maxed out.
I don't think that this card is going to get any more expensive. I mean, if it does, that will be the second time this year that we were wrong about Hydroid Krasis. But the thing is that I think this is the ceiling. I mean, what is
it? Doesn't have modern playability.
No. Okay, so this is
it's not going to be played in Legacy.
This is showing 38, and we're peaked about 2 days ago, and now it's coming back down.
It's already coming down.
Right, so let's look at Carnage Tyrant. because I think that's a decent comp for this card because it's essentially a finisher. Okay, so look, this card is topping out when it's hitting big tournaments. Towards the end of the year, $19, up here $26, but now it's going down, especially as people are finding, oh, I want to put this other card, Hydroid Krasis, in there instead of Carnage Tyrant as the finisher. I think
people are super
$45.
Right now, it's just we've had the first couple tournaments that have had Ravnica Allegiance cards.
And I think that's important. This
everybody's
is week
FOMOing out right now. They're all going, how do I get my Hydroid Krasis? Oh, I should have bought it earlier. And I don't think now is the time to be buying them.
I think now is the time to be selling.
Yeah, you need to be selling them right now. It is a seller's market for this card. Go ahead, get that $30 for this card that's ultimately going to end up being, like a $10 card.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, let's look at this like we looked at Hostage Taker. Hostage Taker had so much value when it came out. People were buying them and buying them and buying them, and I think Hostage Taker got as high as, like $25 for the non-foil.
Right.
And so, don't let your Hydroid Krasis, don't let it sit in a binder because you're like, I'm going to wait for it to appreciate. Like, none of these standard cards...
You can flip it. You can get some other singles that you want.
No standard card is sacred.
Right.
If it's in standard...
This card's not going to be in modern.
Yeah. This is not Izzet Phoenix.
Right.
This is not an Arclight Phoenix. This is a big, huge blue-green draw cards. Like, it's the flavor of the week.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
So that's pretty much what we wanted to talk about this week. We really think it's the right time to sell. We were a little surprised, but more than happy to admit that we were wrong about the card.
Yeah, it's cool to see how Standard is shaking out and what decks are getting played. Esper Control has like Chromium the Mutable that people are playing.
Yeah.
We have some white weenie decks that are popping up.
People are still trying to break Wilderness Reclamation.
Yeah. We have a Degenerate Fog Wilderness Reclamation deck that runs Teferi's and Nexus of the Fate. It looks absolutely
But it surprisingly didn't show up in any of the standard events because this is week 1. People are still trying to figure out this format. I think with
Reclamation did pop up in the MTGO.
So. Oh yeah.
So we're starting to see it. We're starting to see what the format is shaking out to be. Is it going to be a bunch of Fog and Sultai deck lists?
Hopefully not. Let us know if y'all are running into Hydroid Krasis a lot. Let us know what else you're building in Standard, what you think may be a better deck. Would love to talk to you about that. I'm playing a lot on MTG Arena right now. It's mostly the best of 1 just because that's what the ranked ladder is built towards. But once we get best of 3, we're in a whole new world. So
a whole new world.
Yep. Other than that, for this week, I'm tapped out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
And I am on a never-ending quest for better understanding and personal growth and happiness.
There you go.
And
Bye.
I hope you are too.
Bye.